I ended up walking into my local vintage stock game store in search of video games, where on the floor underneath the bottom shelf, I ended up finding something really strange, and that is this Aura Interceptor virtual reality gameware set, backpack, whatever you want to call this thing. This thing is super weird, but it was normally $40, but they had it on sale for $12.99. And there's some things I definitely want to talk about this thing. We're gonna open it up, unbox it and all that, but this is weird and wacky, and I thought it would be interesting to go ahead and check out and try out. Now, this was released back in 1994, and it seems to pretty much work with the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, and a few other things that I thought were kind of interesting about this. But at the same time, it says this is a brand new unit, which I don't know if I believe. There is some wear and tear on this, but at the same time, if it is from 1994, I would kind of expect that. But like, the box has a bunch of staining on it on the sides, so I'm guessing this is like new old stock that maybe vintage stock wrapped here like this. I don't think this is actually like brand new, but we're gonna have to go and figure that out. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my scissors and just kind of cut the plastic, and then we'll peel it off. But I definitely feel like this might be a little suspicious. I really don't think this is going to be brand new, but I guess we'll see. The box looks really new, except there is some issues with it, but I don't know. I feel like it's definitely like super like strange to be getting this brand. This thing isn't brand new. I really hope everything is here. Maybe it is, but like you can see there's like a bunch of wear and dust right there, but everything is like strapped up like it's never been used. So maybe that's just from, I don't know. I really hope this thing works, to be honest with you. Okay, so the staples on here are rusted, which leads me to believe this is a old unit. It's not like they made these in 2024 and then are selling them. It comes with the instruction manual, a stop before you read, kind of a safety thing as well. It does have the weird adapter for this thing, which we'll get into more. This basically lets you plug in a bunch of different ways. And then we've got what I think is the adapter that kind of goes into it as the, like, audio, I think. Or is this for the power? Oh, this is for the power. Okay, so this is like the power base that you plug everything into. What else do we have? Is there anything else? Nope, that's just a box. And then, ooh, this has definitely got to be the power supply just because this thing is heavy. So opening that up, hopefully everything is good here, because this is where everything that matters is, because without this thing, I wouldn't be able to use this, but it is what it is there, as well as we're left with just the backpack, which I think this is really ridiculously funny that this was made, but I think this is one thing that could be cool to use, maybe fun, maybe interesting, I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to hook it up and try it, but seeing this for 12 bucks, I had to pick it up. Even if it wasn't brand new, as long as everything works, I'm gonna be stoked to have picked this up. Like I said, it looks a little dirty there, but I think that might just be dust, which I think is weird that it's right there. Maybe it's from cardboard, but everything else seems to be pristine, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull out my Super Nintendo and we're gonna hook it up and get to playing this thing. Okay, we've got Sonic pulled up here. The audio is a little off. I can't wait. Okay. This actually isn't too bad. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get this started. This is ridiculous. It does feel like it's off a little, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It kind of adds to the ridiculousness of it. Oh, ow, I knew that was happening. Crap. Can you hear how bad that sounds? Oh. 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 I'm like so distracted by it. What the heck? Finally, dude, this is weird. I don't think I'm about it. I think this is like one of those gimmicky things that came out back in the day that just doesn't quite work. Now, you can still... Whoa! When there's a lot of low bass, you can really feel it. Like, the mids are there, the highs don't really feel that much. And so it's a little interesting. But, oh dang it. But I don't know about it. I'm still questioning. Oh dang it. It sounds so bad though. Like, it sounds exactly... It sounds exactly like you would think it does, but worse. Even the way I move it... Okay, we're gonna have to stop and sit down and talk about this. Okay, so after giving this thing a try, I'm definitely glad that I picked it up on sale for only $12. The fact that you can't use it right out of the box with an adapter for the Super Nintendo with the regular AV cords is really super annoying. You have to have the RF, which I'm not a big fan of anyways, and I couldn't record with that, so we moved on to the Sega Genesis, which I had a Model 1, which is a lot easier to use this thing with because it has that output jack for audio, which I absolutely think is a great way to use this thing. To be honest, this is actually pretty awesome and probably was insane back in '94, but this is like 30 years later, and I'm using this thing for the first time, and honestly, it's not comfortable at all. It's just a flat piece of plastic that doesn't fit my body, and so it felt a little awkward. I couldn't use this probably for prolonged uses. I kind of don't like that you have to plug it into the hub, but I kind of understand this is like 30 years old, so probably they did what they could back then. But do I think this is worth owning? No. Do I think it's an interesting thing to kind of play around with? Definitely yes. I was looking this up and doing some research, and I found that someone had used this to play on their MetaQuest, which, I mean, it probably could work if you plug it in with that input. So maybe I should try this with other consoles or something like ridiculous, maybe like an Xbox or a PlayStation 5, because you can plug an audio cord into the controller. But honestly, is this worth $12? Yeah, probably just to have fun with it. Is it worth $40 or more? No. Pass up on this if you see this. I think this thing is really funny, really interesting, and was probably an interesting gimmick back in the day. So what do you think? Would you use this thing? Would you pick it up? What would you do if you found this for $13? I saw it and I knew I've got to get this. I've got to try this out, and brought it to you guys. I thought it was interesting, but what do you think? Comment down below and let me know. But I'm going to get out of here and play some Princess Peach Showtime, so check that video out if you haven't already. But honestly, this was better. I don't know. I was going to say better than expected, but honestly, I didn't expect much. It worked better than like the Power Glove did, so I can give it that. But I'm getting out of here, so check that video out if you haven't already.